Good morning. Excuse my under eye bags. I'm tired. This is Romantic Adventure Getaways, and I'm going to give you a tour. This one is called Treasure Island. So, and you're immediately faced with this massive shower. You can even sit in there and do like jetted tubs, but it has a rain shower. Chris wants one now. And then there's all this stuff on the walls. Birds, and everything's a clue. Here's the little bathroom. Okay, so when you walk in, the first clue says to look for white rose petals. That will lead you to your first clue. So
there was some on the floor.
There's some on the floor, which led us into this door, into this room. And then one of the clues eventually led us to this drawbridge that comes down, just like on Goonies. And you walk the drawbridge, and it leads you into this room, this little room that has these massage chairs and a little TV where you watch movies during your massage. And it felt really good. We might actually do it before we leave. But our first clue, and this is a little bar area. And this is all Goonies themed. So everything in here could be a clue. One of the things we had to do was temporary tattoos. Here is mine. And I'm going to tell my sister that it's real. I think she will believe me. So then we had to do our pirate names. Chris's was Year Spike Sparrow. Mine was Billy Goat Big Lips Sparrow, which I guess is appropriate. So our very first clue was this here, which doesn't look like much, but at the bottom are ropes. And there's like a little anchor down here that you had to pull the anchor up that would, Chris had ropes in the other room and I had ropes in here. We had to communicate from different rooms to get this anchor that was in the corner up this wall. And once we did that, it released a key that opened this door.
That was the key.
So we go into here, and this is a room full of props and clothes. And you have to recreate this picture. There's all these clothes, jewelry, belts, boots, trunks, swords, guns. There's a selfie stick. And then we eventually solved another clue that opened up the door to this room. Look how dark it is. And this is a massage room. It has red light therapy. There's massage guns and attachments. An LED mask, red light mask. And you had to put Andy's jacket in this bucket, like in Goonies at the well, that raised the bucket from here, that dropped out a key and another clue. Each room is full of different clues, different keys. So we got the clue to this room. We go back out. So this is just a house with massive rooms, massive suites, but it's all private. No one else can come into your area. So we're going back through the bar. And the next clue was, this was just a little dressing room where you put your stuff. But then this wall opened that led us into here. And it's dark. I don't know if you can see. It's a stairwell with this green wall right here. So we go through the stairwell. There's an arrow pointing down. See the massive green wall? So we go down these stairs. And it leads us to another door. And there's clues and QR codes if you can't figure out the clue. So we open it up, and there's props. There's potato, pineapple. You're supposed to put on your props, and we're on a game show. So the announcer will come on and call you in one at a time. And you go into this room.
Pineapple, come on down.
See?
Welcome to
There
the
you go.
Goonie's Game Show.
You're on a game
Take the
show.
Goonie, one of the accused spending
You have to answer questions. You have to throw ropes onto hooks. You have to play cups.
Remember to choose a physical challenge after every
There's a camera where
At the end of your time,
you do pictures
tally up the points and crown the
and you
game
answer
show
all these
champion.
questions on this game board.
And
you hit the buzzer. So anyway, Chris won the game show. He won this one. So you go back out and it gives you another clue. So each challenge gives you a clue that takes you to the next place. So we're going to go back up the stairs. And the clue said X marks the spot. And then you go so many paces west, east, north. So we follow our instructions. We're going to go back through the dressing room, back into our little area. So we solved clue in here. One of them was that little donut up there has to touch the parrot. So when we did that, this ceiling opened up and these stairs came down. So we're going to go up the stairs. I can't imagine old people doing this. I'm surprised there's no age limit. Okay, so we're in this little tunnel and I'm on my knees. It's very narrow. I'm crawling. I'm still crawling. Long tunnel. Where does this lead? It's a slide! Which, this is Goonies theme. There has to be a slide. So, you sit on this towel, this little blanket. Here we go, it's dark. We're gonna go down the slide. Here we go. Woo! Ooh. I landed hard on that one. Okay. So now where are we? Okay. So now we're in this body paint room. This was an extra charge, so we didn't do it. But you just put paint on yourselves and make your own little canvas. But one of the clues said, in the movie Goonies, there's a statue that the kids broke an appendage. So, I'm looking for it, and here it is. Remember in the movie they broke that? So you turn that, and there was a clue in there with a key.
Oh, so you had to find it.
So we're moving along. This door opens. Now we're back out in this hallway. So we have instructions to go back this way. We're going back this way. Over here is a little dining table. There was clues in that. It actually was a laser gun that you shoot a parrot, and a key dropped down from the ceiling. Here's our little dining table. There was clues wrapped around that. And at some point, it leads us to this massive boat. There's a boat right in the middle of our room. Just give you a little tour of the Here's that lit up a little more light. But you have this whole place to yourself. You can go back and redo things if you want to do them again. But each clue leads you to a different place, and you can't go forward without those clues. There's just no way of knowing where you go. So eventually, we're led to this boat. Our treasure is somewhere on the boat. So we're going to go up the boat. Little props along the way. We're going to go up our boat. Here is our bed. Little props. The bed was actually very comfy, and I'll give you an example of one of the clues of how detailed this place is. So there's Chester copper pot, and there's a pot right there, and they're both copper. We had to, Chris touch one and I touched the other one at the same time, and when we kissed, the current ran through us and it opened up another little door
That corner.
that had a key. A key was in there. So we're up here and there's a wheel. This wheel also had a clue that opened that had a key in it. But here's some of the props right here. Locks, this, just like from the movie. Little clues, little scrolls. But it said basically to move the rug. So we're trying to find a treasure, and apparently it might be under this rug. So we had a key.
Show me how this works.
So we're going to demonstrate. So we took that,
Show me this closed.
okay? See, magnetized. It opened that little door. Sometimes things just shoot from the ceiling. So we used our key. And look, it's a trap door. So this place just goes on and on. We're going down the stairs. And this is a very steep drop right there. It doesn't look it. It's very steep. Okay, so now we're down under the bed. And look, it's the treasure.
Wow, Lily's treasure.
We found it. One-Eyed Willie's treasure. There's all kinds of costume jewelry, coins. And the sign said that we can take something as a souvenir, as our treasure. So I did take one of these necklaces. It's like a little crystal. Mine was green. So this was a ton of fun. We highly recommend it. Scale of 10, 1 to 10. What would you
12.
give? Yeah, it was a 12. We highly recommend it. Great or not great. Romantic Adventure Getaways. Look it up. Thanks for watching our video tour.